Well, g'day, and welcome back to Zhaoqing. So today we find ourselves standing in front of the old city wall. So we're going to go take a look up on the wall today, talk a little bit about the history of the wall and stuff like that. And there is also a small museum up on top of the wall inside one of the towers. So we're going to go up and have a look there. So if we just spin ourselves around here, so we can see here, this is one of the main gates in times gone past. It's no longer operational, the doors don't open. They are in the process of refurbishing all of the walls, so hopefully that will be usable again one time soon. We see all these lights up here. These all light up at night time. I was going to come down and do the video at night time, but unfortunately the museum is not open at night time, and that is one of the things I wanted to go in and have a look at. So I'm going to come over here. We have steps to access the top of the wall here, and we're going to go for a walk all the way around, have a look at the full length, talk a bit about the history and construction and stuff. So down here we have a map of the area telling you what's around us, but I can't read that. I'm guessing this here is "you are here." As for the rest of it, no idea. It shows us some of the things we have going on around here. Zhaoqing City Museum, Piyunlu, Baogongjing, don't know what any of them things are. No, okay. So we're going to head this way, head over, have a look at what's going on. So you see the fence on the left here. They put all this fencing up anytime they're doing any sort of building work, if they're building, buildings or refurbishing this area. So this area down here was one of the first new places to open after they started doing all the refurbishment. So they've just made a nice little garden square here, which is very beautiful. We'll go down this way. Over on the left here we have Zhaoqing Museum, which is a brand new building. We're going to go and have a look at that later on. So over this side we have some beautiful carved artwork here, absolutely stunning. And down in the corner here we have, now I think if I remember rightly, this is an old well. Yes, it is. Access to water, which back in those days would have been very, very important. We do have a sign telling us what's going on here. So we have the years 1040 to 1042. What that means, I have no idea. So same here, this beautiful little wall here is all brand new. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to get back up on the wall and we're going to go in, have a look at the museum up there, and then we're going to take a walk right the way around the full length of the wall until we get back to here. And then from there, I think I'm going to go and have a look at this, the museum in here, which I haven't actually been to look at yet. It'll be a something new to explore for you and for me. So, a little bit about the wall now. It's a very, very popular spot of an evening time. All these lanterns you see up here go most of the way around the wall. They're all lit up at night. It looks very, very beautiful. I'll try and chuck some photos in now, hopefully, and you can see some of what it's like. So yeah, a lot of people come down here, walk. I don't think many walk all the way around the wall, but a lot of them walk down to the tower here, take photos, and then come back. The walk all around does take a little while. If we look inside here, we'll just get past these trees here. See a lot of very, very old buildings which are slowly disappearing. So if you remember on first video, actually we'll show you again, the park area up here, when I first arrived here, it was full of apartment buildings, but they have all been slowly disappearing. Zhaoqing has been building a lot of new apartment buildings, some out to the west of the city, out in front of us, and then a lot more out to the east of the city, which has grown just unbelievably huge in the time that I've been here. I can't tell you what it looked like before I arrived, but from all I'm told, the growth has been just fantastic. So up ahead of us here, we see the little raised section of the wall in front of us. This is to allow cars underneath, so they've actually put a hole through the wall, which is a bit sad. Yeah, it would have been nice if they could have, I don't know, tunneled under it or something, so as to not have to destroy it. But yeah, we needed to be able to get cars inside, and that little gate we saw back at the beginning was just not going to cut it at all. So if we jump up here, have a look down to the right here, we see a set of traffic lights and the busy Zhaoqing streets. This is a very, very busy little area during rush hour, you know, in the mornings, in the evenings. A lot of people coming from out in the west, heading into the city for work and whatnot, and school. And then over on this side, we have a school down here. Then you go around the corner, there's another school. So I think this one's a primary school. There's another primary school on the left down here. Turn right, there's a middle school. There's another middle school up here that we'll see shortly. Hello. So there's lots of schools in this little area. A couple of the better schools in Zhaoqing, the very desirable schools. I do believe the middle school in here is one of the most desirable middle schools in Zhaoqing. Stand to be corrected if anybody knows better, but yeah, that's what I've heard. So this here now, let me try and remember. I've got a feeling, I think this is accommodation for high school students in the school that's just in behind here. You can see the school basketball courts here, and then the school over on the left. Then is that a high school or is that a middle school? No, that might be I'm pretty sure it's a high school, that one. So we see the parkland in front of us here. This, when I first arrived, was all apartment buildings, and they've knocked them all down. They're slowly getting rid of all these buildings in the center of the wall area, and in the future they're hoping to have the whole thing as a tourist precinct. So there's one road of shops in there which was quite an old danky looking road, but they've recently refurbished all the shops, so there's going to be all tourist shopping areas. They're looking at, so they've got the museum in here now. They're looking at sporting facilities. I think they were talking about getting a hotel or two in there. Yeah, there's lots of plans afoot, but it all sort of depends on money, I guess, as with everything. So I'm not sure whether this museum is actually open or not. we will have a look and see what we can see. So this raised area here apparently used to be for the commander of the army would stand up on here and talk to his troops, give orders and whatnot. You can see a couple of old gunpowder cannons here. So that's going back a while. And then over on this side, you can see in the distance down here, there's another building in the central area here. Now apparently this is in the center of the wall area, so directly in the center. And this was where the town leader at the time would live. And this is his park area that has been recently built. It's an absolutely stunning looking place. They've done a very, very good job down here. So we're inside the museum now. Here we have a very, very old carving. And this on the left here tells us a little bit about the history. And then coming around to the right here we see an old picture. Let's see, this is from 1102 according to the plaque. So this must have been while it was still under the original construction. And then we have a lot of the old brickwork here inside. And down here, a few little other artifacts. That looks like it was some old style money. Does it tell us anything about dates? No, not really. Okay, and then over here we have a little baby cannon. And then some more of the brickwork. Okay, we're going to, there's some people coming down the steps. We're just going to wait for them to come down. And then we're going to head on up, have a look what we've got up top. Okay, here we go. Alright, I've got to duck my head in here. It's only good for 175 centimetres. I'm looking for 185, so got to watch I don't bash my head here. We'll just let these people get past us. So you can see some of the roof tiles down here. Hopefully we'll get a better look at once we get up here. So up on this side we have another old picture. We've got a date here. Yeah, there's no date on that plaque. So here we have some old pictures from, I'd be guessing well, look at that car, Suzuki Swift, maybe the 90s there. And these are a bit more modern. So this is another temple down along the river, which we will go and have a look at one of these days. And then down on this side here, have some old books and things. And then here we go, this is a model of an old street front in Zhaoqing. In fact, what I was telling you earlier about the street that they've recently remodeled, this actually looks a lot like how they've done the buildings in this new street. So yeah, it'll be a really, really popular tourist attraction, I would imagine. And then we come over into the center here and we have basically a model of, I don't know if that's the way it was or the way they hope to make it. Yeah, there's no lakes in the middle at this time, so I don't know which way they're going to go. Whether that's old or whether that's what they plan on doing. A couple of lakes in there that are appropriate for swimming would be very, very nice. Okay, and we're heading back up again. And into the third floor. Okay, We start here in the centre. We have these old, so these are from 1873 here. I'm not sure what they signify. And then here we have a bit of the story. So got things dating back to 111 AD, 507, 281, 589, 1053, 1118 was the year that the wall was rebuilt. And it's been rebuilt several times over the years. So in the centre here we have a model of a, I'm guessing 2 floors, so that must have been someone in power having a house like that back then. And then over here, a bit more of a look of the some of the information. These are some of the people in Zhaoqing's history. I don't know who they are. So that was the museum. Like I say, this is only a small one. We're going to head into the big museum later and see what's in there. So we're going to head back outside now and carry on our walk around the wall, tell you a little bit about the history. So here we have found some English language information. So let's have a look what we have here. Piyun Tower is located in the northwest section of Zhaoqing ancient city wall. According to records of Zhaoqing Prefecture in Wanli of the Ming Dynasty, Piyun Tower was built in the 3rd year of Song Zhenghe, 1113, and was added when Zheng Dunyi, the governor of the county, expanded the Earth City into a brick city in the 3rd year of the Ming Dynasty, 1467. The magistrate Huang Yu rebuilt the Piyun Tower for the first time and hung a tablet on the Piyun Tower on the building. After that, it was rebuilt 3 times in the 29th year of Wanli of the Ming Dynasty in 1601, 39th year of the Qianlong of the Qing Dynasty, 1774, and the 16th year of the Chinese people, 1927. In 1986, the People's Government of Zhaoqing rebuilt Piyun Tower again and changed it into a reinforced concrete imitation wood structure building, which is now a landmark landscape of Zhaoqing's historical and cultural city. According to legend, ancient Piyun Tower surrounded by lush trees, often storks perched. A couple of names of birds there I'm not going to try and pronounce, and the landscape has been listed as one of the 8 Zhaoqing scenery. So this section of the wall that we're walking on now is currently under refurbishment. You can see we have none of the guard areas up on either side. So that we will be rebuilt soon. And then this part up ahead of us, that is one of 2 sections of the wall that we can't currently walk around upon. So we're actually going to take a little detour down off the wall and just detour around this little area, and then we will head back up onto the wall and tell you a little bit about the history of the ancient city wall here. On the left here, when I first arrived, was all apartment buildings. So they've now been moved out, and everybody's moved either to new apartments out on the west of the city, or more likely out in the east where there's a lot more development happening. There's a lot of new apartments. We have the gates here just to stop people bringing bikes and the like up onto the wall, because we don't really want cyclists riding around and getting in the way, especially of an evening when it gets very busy up here. And as we head down around here, you see the green fencing, which is just a common thing anytime there's any sort of building work going on anywhere. Everything gets fenced off, keep people out so nobody gets in, injures themselves or stuff like that. Down here, this road leads down to the high school, middle school I mentioned earlier. And now we head back around and heading back up onto the wall. This will also allow people, there's steps on this side, there's also steps on the other side here, so people who live outside the wall can come and get over the top of the wall to get to other shops on the inside. Hopefully while they're doing this refurbishing, they do it all right so that it's all good. So a little history of Zhaoqing's ancient city wall. So Zhaoqing Ancient City Wall is a part of the city wall built in the Song dynasty and is well preserved. It is a symbol of Zhaoqing as a famous historical and cultural city. It was first built in the Song dynasty in its current form, and it is the only extant ancient city wall in Guangdong province. It is rectangular shaped with a perimeter of 2,800 meters. According to historical records, it was originally built of earth over 2,000 years ago and was expanded during the Song dynasty in the year 1113. At this time, it was built with brick. It has a tower on each gate and a turret on each angle, and in the past included a moat. It stands 10 meters high at its highest points, with an earth center with bricks on either side and over the top. It has 28 battlements, and bricks of over 40 types show that it has been damaged and repaired many times over the years. And if we look down here, just with my naked eye, I can see at least, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 different types of brickwork in just that little section itself. So, yeah, it's quite obvious that it has been repaired many times over the 1,000 years it's been here. Beautiful gardens out on the right here. They're sort of refurbishing all the stuff on the outside of the wall to make it picturesque and tourist friendly. Whether that's going to go all the way around the wall, I don't know. There is a part up the east end which would be very difficult to carry on this sort of work, but hopefully they do. On the left here we see a lot more apartment buildings that have been emptied out. People have moved out. So these look like they're probably going to be demolished fairly soon. So all this stuff will eventually, I believe, be disappearing, and they're moving people out into brand new apartment buildings, and I hope they all enjoy I hope not too many people are upset at having to move, but they are moving into some very nice areas. So, I hope everybody finds a happy place. So we come up now to the second part of the wall that is not accessible. I'm not sure what they're building under there. There's some sort of construction going on, but we might have to come back and do another video when it's all finished. So we're going to head back down off the wall again, head around to the other side of this work and continue back up on the wall. Down here we see some of the old housing inside the wall area. There's a little alleyway runs right down the edge of the wall. They're putting gardens here, so people will be growing corn and whatever other vegetables they grow. Maybe some fruit as well. They'll find any place they can to grow little gardens. We'll do a little walk along the river one day, take you down through the garden area there where lots of people have lots of little plots where they grow vegetables either for themselves or to take up the markets and sell. Okay, we're going to end up on one of the roads up here. We'll have a look back down to our left. So, these steps. So as we look down to the left here, we can see that central building that we saw from the tower on the wall. And then down here, there's all the park area around there. There's a nice little town square in there, which again is another really nice spot. A lot of people come down there of an evening. We're not going to bother now because it's very hot and there's nobody there. So back around this way to take us back up onto the wall itself. More of these old apartment buildings. A lot of these have got little sheds underneath, so they'll park their electric bikes and the like underneath in these little rooms on the ground floor. Okay, we see up here another new part of the wall. So this was just knocked through for cars to come through, and they've only just recently sort of reattached the top so that the people can walk right the way around on top of the wall. They don't have to keep coming down. So yeah, it's a bit sad that they had to bash a hole in the wall, but modern times, we need this access for cars, I guess. So this is all new section here. They've done a good job. It seems to fit in quite well. Once this brickwork here has aged a little bit, I'm sure it's going to fit in very well. We'll look back down the wall, and in the distance there you can see the other side of the wall where this road carries on through under the other tunnel we saw earlier. So up here, where she sort of come off the wall to cross the road here, the land in this area is built up, so it's actually at the same level as the top of the wall. So we're going to just look left and right, make sure there's no cars coming, get over the road here. So these shops we can see here, let me just spin us around so we can have a look. So these, right the way down this road, have been done up very much in the style of the buildings we saw in the museum. So yeah, they've gone to a lot of work. There's going to be a lot of tourist shops in here when they finally finish this project off. And this street, yeah, it's all done up in that old style. So on the left here, we can see these murals along the wall, and on the top, we can see busted glass for security. So people who were living in that area, keeps them secure. And you'll also see, as we see these buildings up on the right here, you'll see they have similar sort of things happening because they're built so close to the wall. They want to keep people who shouldn't be there from jumping from the wall into places they shouldn't be into. So that is our tour of the old wall. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit more about Zhaoqing. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free, hit the comments, write your questions. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to learn more. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and I wish you all the best. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.